Can you believe it? We are just
A few weeks away
from Apple's next iPhone event, and we have some fresh leaks still coming out, like the complete color lineup for the iPhone 16, as well as some really important information about the entire iPhone lineup for 2024 and 2025. And there might potentially be some bad news as well, because while no one else is talking about this, I think we may be due for a price increase on the iPhone 16 Pro models, especially with how I'm seeing the entire lineup play out, which may be one of the most compelling lineups in quite some time, because a big shakeup could bring Apple Intelligence to more devices than I originally thought. Speaking of artificial intelligence, it's in more devices than ever before, and now it might be time to consider upgrading your charging setup with something that can handle all of your devices with Anker's smart, ultra-powerful desktop charging station. That's because this desktop charging station can charge 6 devices at once and comes equipped with 4 powerful USB-C ports and 2 USB-A ports for 6 ports total. This power station is capable of 250 watts of total output power, and it even has a 140 watt USB-C port, which lets me charge my 16-inch MacBook Pro at fast charging speeds with power to spare, and it can charge the rest of my entire Apple ecosystem no problem. Yes, that is a display on the charger, and if you rotate this knob, you can even control how you charge your devices, including giving port priority for faster charging and different modes, including an AI mode that smartly charges and powers all of your devices by giving them the correct amount of power that they need. It even connects to my iPhone through Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, so I can monitor exactly how fast my devices are charging, how much total power I'm using, and I can even smartly schedule when this device turns on or off to charge my devices, not only saving me energy, but the battery health of all of my devices. And while you're checking out this powerful charging station, make sure you check out some powerful USB-C cables to match with Anker Prime's ultra-durable, fast-charging braided cables. These cables can output a crazy 240 watts for ultimate fast charging capabilities. Listen, if you're like me and live in the Apple ecosystem with multiple devices, you should check out the Anker Prime charging station and Anker Prime USB-C cables in the description below. And thank you to Anker for keeping my devices charged and for sponsoring this video. All right, so let's go over this new iPhone lineup. Let's start with the iPhone 16. The iPhone 16, for the most part, carries a very similar design to the iPhone 15, with the same 6.1-inch and 6.7-inch display for the normal and Plus models, complete with the dynamic island design that it had last year. However, there is a bit of a design shakeup in a few areas. First of all, the camera positioning is changing from a diagonal orientation to a vertical orientation. This is to allow the iPhone 16 to shoot spatial video for the Apple Vision Pro, but it also brings a nice design language refresh to the normal iPhone 16, and honestly, I think it looks really sharp. Another design change is the new colors, which apparently leaked out, and while last year the 15 was criticized for having very soft, muted colors, this year the iPhone 16 is going with more saturated, bolder color choices. As you can see here, there's a much more saturated pink color, a darker green color, and a blue color. It reminds me a lot more of the iPhone XR or iPhone 12 colors than it does some of the more recent iPhones, but still, there's something almost kind of dull looking in these supposedly leaked photos. But with most iPhone leaks, they usually don't show off how good the final product looks, so I'm sure the final iPhone 16 design will look better than these dummy units. So yeah, I'm saving my final review for when it comes out, but based on how they appear in this photo, I'm kind of not feeling these new color choices. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. We are also getting some design functionality changes this year on the iPhone 16, with the mute switch being replaced with the action button, just like we got last year on the iPhone 15 Pro, and we're also getting an entirely new button on the bottom right side of the iPhone 16, a new capture button that will be a dedicated button just for taking photos and videos. In fact, all of the buttons on the iPhone 16 could be capacitive based and no longer physically move, kind of like the trackpad on MacBooks or the iPhone 8's home button. And the capacitive button on the iPhone 16 may also have touch sensitivity, so you could slide your finger along the button as a zoom control. Of course, we can also expect some camera upgrades to the 16, perhaps with a bigger sensor like the 15 Pro had, and some exclusive software features that may be deeply tied with the new A18 chip and Apple Intelligence. That would not surprise me one bit. but we don't really have any concrete leaks or rumors regarding what those exclusive software features may be. But we did kind of get a glimpse at maybe some ways to kind of edit and do some other things with photos at Apple's WWDC. So it remains to be seen. And that really is the big upgrade this year, the chip. And that's because it's rumored to be getting a massive upgrade, so it is able to run Apple Intelligence with the new A18 chip. In terms of CPU and GPU performance, this chip should be getting some pretty nice gains if we look at how much the M4 improved over the M3. This is kind of like on the same architecture, but I think the really nice thing with the base iPhone this year is that Apple is rumored to be packing it with 8 gigabytes of memory, which apparently is the minimum required amount that you need to run Apple Intelligence. And yeah, this iPhone 16, when it comes out, should still be priced at $800 for the 6.1-inch model and $899 for the Plus model, making these the lowest cost iPhones on the market capable of running those Apple Intelligence features, which Apple expects to drive a lot of sales this year. Of course, this is just the start, and while the iPhone 16 will be the lowest cost starting point, at least for now with Apple Intelligence, there is still an even bigger upgrade coming this year with the 16 Pro. Namely, that is because the 16 Pro will carry a different form factor, with the bezels around the iPhone shrinking once again, and the physical form factor of the phone getting bigger on both models, with the iPhones getting larger displays. The 6.1-inch model will move up to 6.3 inches, while the 6.7-inch Pro Max model will move up to a giant 6.9 inches. That may be too big. But yeah, this will be the first time since the iPhone 12 that the iPhone gets a screen size update. And that in itself is going to be a big reason why people want to upgrade to this phone. The displays themselves are also rumored to receive an upgrade to their brightness, with the current leak saying that the 16 Pro will max out at 1200 nits of full screen brightness, which is a 20% increase over last year's models, which were, I mean, come on, these were already super bright. But yeah, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, right? The phones are getting bigger. That is a design change. The bezels are shrinking, but you know, overall, these are still very similar looking phones to last year's phones. Now, yeah, there are still a few rumored tweaks this year, like a polished titanium frame, instead of the matte finish that we got on the 15 Pro. Again, the new capture button is coming just like it is on the regular 16, and we are getting the return of the rose gold color option. But I don't think design is the big story this year. It's all about on the inside, and the 16 Pro has some exciting internal upgrades. One of them is a rumored massive camera improvement this year, with both versions of the 16 Pro getting the 5x telephoto lens, and both Pro phones will also get a huge bump up in resolution on the ultra wide angle camera, moving up from just 12 megapixels to 48 megapixels. There's also rumors regarding the Pro's camera sensor. So most rumors seem to indicate that it will get a little bit bigger this year, which will lead to better quality overall, but there's also some rumors that there could be a stacked camera sensor on the iPhone 16 Pro this year, which would allow it to capture even more light for even better low light photography. Still, just like the regular 16, the 16 Pro's biggest upgrade this year is, again, the chip, and rumors say the 16 Pro will receive an even stronger A18 Pro chip. Now again, I expect this A18 Pro to be a little stronger in CPU or GPU performance compared to the regular A18, and yeah, you might see some noticeable differences, maybe in maybe not day-to-day use, but maybe in areas like AAA gaming, which Apple kind of kicked off with the iPhone 15 Pro last year. Maybe you'll see better frame rates or the ability to set higher resolutions or something like that. But in terms of artificial intelligence or Apple Intelligence features, I expect the 16 and 16 Pro to come with the same capabilities, and these are the exciting features for this year, like a smarter Siri, AI writing tools, generative images, Genmoji, priority notifications, and other Apple Intelligence features that are going to require more powerful chips to run. Now let's talk about that bad news in terms of pricing, because I'm not sure this year if Apple is still going to offer that cheaper starting configuration of the iPhone 16 Pro, the 128GB model, at $1,000. Last year, Apple removed the 128GB option from the Pro Max model and only offered a 256GB starting configuration, $1,200. Now, with the screen size increase, I can see Apple raising prices this year. I would say $1,100 for the iPhone 16 Pro, starting with 256GB, seems more likely. And If that's true, well, then I guess the iPhone 16 Pro Max would still start at the same price point as last year, so $1,200. Of course, this is more speculation on my end. Apple could keep the 128 gigabyte option again and offer that cheaper $1,000 model on the smaller 6.3 inch Pro, but I'm leaning against that because I think they want to slim the lineup a bit, and I think with Apple increasing the screen sizes on these phones, it gives them kind of an excuse to drive prices up this year, especially if they are starting at 256 gigabytes of storage. But what do you think? Do you think Apple will offer a 128 gigabyte option again this year, or will they bump up the price and the starting storage to 256 gigabytes? I want to know in the comments below what you think. So here is our main iPhone 16 lineup. However, this is not the end of the lineup. Now, yes, this will be the 2024 lineup for the rest of the year. So for now, we can expect the iPhone 15 to stay in the lineup and get a $100 price cut, and the iPhone 14 to also get another price cut. So that will be $599, with the old iPhone SE staying in the lineup as well for $429. Now, I'm pretty sure I don't have to tell you that buying an older iPhone this year seems like a really, really bad deal when you realize these phones are not getting access to Apple Intelligence features, and that even includes like something simple like a smarter Siri. That's not coming to any of those iPhones. And even other AI advancements that Apple makes throughout the years, well, again, you're going to need a 15 Pro or newer to run those Apple Intelligence features. So basically, if you're looking at an older 14 or 13 or something like that, you're taking a huge gamble on future software features by going for one of those phones. So even though they're going to get a price cut and still remain in the lineup for a little while, you should probably not buy those older iPhones this year. However, it's why I believe Apple is going to launch a new iPhone model by spring of 2025 to complete this iPhone lineup with a new iPhone SE with a modern design. The iPhone SE will basically be based around the iPhone 14 design. That means you'll get a 6.1-inch OLED display with a notch, you'll get USB-C, you won't get a dual camera, but you'll get a single lens 48 megapixel camera, so the picture quality on that is still going to be really good. And yeah, basically the iPhone SE will kind of get a mix of advanced features from the iPhone 14 and the iPhone 15, but the biggest upgrade here is something new, and that will be chip parity with the iPhone 16. That's because this iPhone is rumored to be getting the same A18 chip and 8 gigabytes of memory as the flagship iPhone 16 model. And let's be honest, that's because Apple wants a cheaper iPhone capable of running Apple Intelligence. When this iPhone launches, it will be slotted right between the price points of the iPhone 14 and iPhone 15, with most rumors pointing at a $549 price point. When this happens, I expect Apple to drop the iPhone 15 and the iPhone 14 from the lineup and have a very simple iPhone lineup for this year. I would expect that to be the iPhone SE starting at $549, $799 with the iPhone 16, $1,100 with the iPhone 16 Pro, and $1,200 with the iPhone 16 Pro Max. This will be a very compelling iPhone lineup, and it will make sure that Apple can quickly shift to only selling phones capable of running Apple Intelligence. And that aggressive strategy is a good thing for Apple. They need to cut these older iPhone models from their lineup because usually they do leave them on sale for quite a few years. But if they do that, all of those phones are going to be missing out on important Apple Intelligence software updates for future versions of iOS. So I think they need to be aggressive with this phone lineup, and it looks like they're going to be. So this looks like what we are getting for the iPhone lineup for 2024 and 2025, and I think it sounds really exciting. But what do you think about this new iPhone lineup, and which iPhone do you plan on purchasing? Do you plan on going for just the normal iPhone 16? Do you plan on going for the iPhone 16 Pro? Or are the rumors about a cheaper iPhone SE capable of running Apple Intelligence intriguing to you? And do you think you might wait until spring for that? Let me know in the comments below. Always interested to hear your takes on this. And as always, I hope you found the video helpful and informative. If you did, please give it a like. If you want to see more, we're only one month away from the iPhone 16 being announced. It's going to be very exciting. Make sure you're subscribed, and I will catch you all in the next one. Take care, everyone.